The Address by Marga Minko. CBSE Class 11. This is Chapter 2 of the textbook Snapshots. This is Part 1 of my explanation. In this series, I'm going to give you a complete explanation of the chapter, which will be followed by question answers. Check out my complete Class 11 playlist, and of course, the links to all my videos can be found in the description box. The author, Marga Minko's parents, were forced to move into the city's Jewish quarter during the Holocaust at the time of World War II. Her parents, brother, and sister were all deported, and Marga managed to survive the war in hiding. Thus, her stories often revolve around the existential problems often faced by survivors. The story, The Address, is a poignant portrayal of the ruthless devastation that war causes. It underlines the human dilemma that follows war and death of a loved one. War is gory and not a glorious affair, which means there is a lot of bloodshed in wars. It leads to untold loss of life and mental suffering for the survivors. This is brought out through an emotional account of a daughter who goes in search of her mother's belongings. She finds them but decides to leave them behind because of the memories attached to them. And now let us begin understanding the story. The narrator arrives at 46 Marconi Street, a house owned by a lady whose name is Mrs. Dolling. She introduced herself as Mrs. S's daughter. The lady showed no sign of recognition. On the contrary, the door was held in such a way that it indicated that the narrator was not welcome. She was treated with cool incivility. However, during the course of interaction, the narrator has three important realizations. First, she realized that she is at the correct address as Mrs. Dorling is wearing her mother's green knitted cardigan. From the faded button, it is quite evident that the sweater has been worn fairly often by that lady. Second, the narrator knows that she is not welcome, as Mrs. Darling does not even let her come inside her house. She goes away very disappointed and is unsuccessful in collecting her things. Third, she hears a door open and close within the house behind Mrs. Darling. This indicates that there is another person in the house, someone whom Mrs. Darling is anxious to keep away from the narrator. As the narrator walks back to the train station, she thinks about her mother who had given her the address years ago during the first half of the World War II. She had come home from the university and had found several of their household items missing. Her mother had then informed her that Mrs. Darling was an old acquaintance, a person whom you know but you don't know too well. And she had insisted that Mrs. Darling should keep their things safe during the war. Every time she came, she took something or the other with her. These things included table silver, antique plates, large vases, and crockery. She told Mrs. S that she wanted to save all her precious things in case they had to leave home, as their lives were threatened due to war. She recalls another incident when she had seen Mrs. Darling for an instant in a brown coat and shapeless hat before the woman left with yet another installment of their things. The narrator was not convinced and inquired whether she had got an agreement signed by the lady. But the narrator's mother, an apparently gullible woman, that is, a woman who can be fooled easily, did not seem to suspect Mrs. Darling of any ulterior motive. Mrs. Darling was very, very cunning as well as selfish, you see. Mrs. S, that is the narrator's mother, was so innocent that instead of suspecting Mrs. Darling, she was concerned or worried about the lady hurting herself or being attacked by someone while carrying their things back to Marconi Street for safekeeping. She asked her daughter to remember Mrs. Darling's address in case the narrator was the only one who survived the war. After the first unsuccessful visit to the address, the narrator thinks deeply and reasons out about why she took so long to return for her mother's belongings. The war and the loss of her family had a grievous, painful impact on her heart. She was hesitant about asking for the things kept in Mrs. Darling's house. Each of those things carried memories for her life before the war. The pain of loss stopped her from returning for her things earlier than that. The narrator recalls the time when things had started becoming normal again. She gives examples of light colored bread, familiar views, and unthreatened sleep. And it was then that she became curious about her possessions and yearned for them. After the first failed attempt, the narrator tried to visit Mrs. Darling again. This time, the woman was not at home, and the narrator was greeted by Mrs. Darling's 15-year-old daughter. She followed the girl inside the house. Along the passage, she noticed an old fashioned Hanukkah candle stand. She says in her mind that they had never used it as it was too bulky. This tells us that the Hanukkah candle stand belonged to the narrator's family. The girl showed off the antiques in her house to the narrator, oblivious of the fact that she was showing them to their rightful owner. She does not know this fact. As they entered the living room, she saw all the things that had belonged to her family. She was met with numerous recollections of past times, happy times spent with her family before the war. She felt as if she was in a room that she both knew and didn't know. She knew the room because it was full of familiar things, and she says that she didn't know the room because of the ugly furniture that surrounded it, or maybe the inelegant or unsophisticated manner in which the things were arranged. The woolen tablecloth felt familiar due to the burn mark that she knew would be in that particular place. She was surrounded by all the things that she had yearned to see again, but they had a stressful impact on her now. And that was the end of my lesson. If you learned from this video, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel to follow my Class 11 playlist for all the other lessons, and you can check out the link in the description box. So keep watching for the other parts and question answers of this lesson.